Hello and welcome to One Cool Thing, PC Mag's daily show where we show you one cool thing which we are testing out here in the PC Mag Labs. I'm Sasha Sieg and this is Tom Brandt. If you are watching us live on Facebook, welcome. Please make questions, give comments. Social Pete here will read out your questions to us. We will have a discussion about electronics news of the day, electronic news of the day, anything that you want to talk about, we can talk about it. If you are on YouTube, you can't talk to us. Consider coming over to Facebook at 10 a.m. Eastern on weekdays. But if you enjoy this video on YouTube, please like and subscribe. We have a new video every weekday with a new gadget. And today's gadget feels to me like it is worlds colliding, okay, in my mind. It is worlds colliding, and it is the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga 2018.
Right.
And it is colliding because in the world of Lenovo laptops, I think of ThinkPad X1 as a certain thing.
Yep.
And I think of yoga as a certain thing. And ThinkPad X1 tells me, oh, I'm a C-level executive. I'm gonna do some serious business with my typing and my track point. And yoga tells me, well, I'm gonna watch some movies and I'm a little creative and maybe I don't use the keyboard at all. And here we have it all in one place.
Yes, exactly. The yoga and even more of a collision of worlds is the fact that they have put an HDR screen on this, almost begging you to use this really business-like laptop for non-business-like things.
Oh no! This is going to reduce the productivity of top-level executives throughout the country.
Yeah, but look at how beautiful the screen is. It's HDR.
It's really lovely. Okay, so the Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga. Let's start with the surely astronomical price for this laptop and go to its features.
Right, so it actually is not a bad starting price. It starts at $1,600, which is a lot for a laptop, but it is very well made. A very premium convertible, ultra portable, but
as configured.
It's not $1,600 as we reviewed it. And so I will, for maximum effect, go down here to this price of our configured unit, which is $2,739 as of when we published this, which was just a few days ago. The prices change all the time, but still, $2,739 for a convertible laptop.
You are definitely buying this with your bonus stock options, appreciating mutual fund, C-level executive monies.
Yeah, and this is actually a very, I mean, it's expensive, but people buy this thing. This is actually the third generation of it. They introduced it a little over 3 or 4 years ago.
So let's walk through the basic features and specs of this gorgeous laptop.
Okay, so it has a Core i7 8th generation processor. This is not Coffee Lake, but it is still very fast, as you would expect from a laptop that costs this much money. So you can use it for processor-intensive tasks, like certainly for multitasking, video conferencing, things like that, but also rendering some video, crunching some numbers in Excel. And while you're crunching those numbers in Excel, you can take advantage of the extremely good screen, which has 500 nits of brightness and is the first laptop that we've seen that has Dolby Vision support for high dynamic range video.
And so that's a buzzword. Is that actually visible? Does that actually give you a visible difference in your life?
So we're actually watching an HDR 4K clip right now, a movie trailer. And you won't be able to, you out there in the interwebs won't necessarily be able to see this, but the colors are extremely popping on this display. It is a higher range of bright colors and a deeper range of black. So it does make a difference. That said, it's not a TV. You're not going to be watching, it's still a laptop screen.
Is this a touchscreen?
It is, yes. And what Lenovo basically told me that they made this HDR. It's not quite 4K, I believe. It's 1440p. We'll have to double check on that. But they made this because enthusiasts buy this too. It's not just business people. So they're admitting that not many business people will need an HDR screen, but they're saying that this is really for people who want that leading edge quality on a laptop.
Okay, keyboard still wonderful Lenovo quality?
Yep.
Okay.
No difference with the keyboard, and they still managed to make it that as stable. But because it's an X1 Yoga, they have this really cool hardware thing where the keys lay flat so that they're not damaged while you're using it in laptop mode. And they put that retraction hardware in there, the mechanism, and they still managed to keep it sturdy like we expect.
Okay, so how is battery life on something, you know,
yeah, so
thin but broad?
There again, we can go back and look here. You see that battery life is not as good as you might expect from a Lenovo X1 series, which normally have good ones. You see that the X1 Yoga last generation without the HDR display recorded 11 hours and 14 minutes. We only got 9 hours and 50 minutes, and that's largely because of these extra pixels and the extra display.
Well, and not just that, but it looks like the previous model you were looking at was an OLED model, and OLED screens tend to have lower overall power consumption than LCD screens.
Yeah, but they're more expensive.
But they're more expensive, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go around some of the features and ports before we hit the questions. Fingerprint reader. Yeah,
fingerprint reader. Touchpad that has buttons on the top so that you can also use the trackpad, the little red nib, or you know, whatever you want to call it.
Track nipple. Okay, and
radio silence.
On the sides we have two USB-C. Are they Thunderbolt?
Yes, both of them support Thunderbolt, and one of them also supports quick charging, so you can charge this in about less than an hour.
Great. We have a USB-A. On the other side, we've got a headphone jack, a USB-A, an HDMI, a locking port, and Lenovo's weird, obnoxious proprietary connector.
Well, actually, yeah. So not only is this weird and obnoxious and proprietary, but this is actually a physical Ethernet jack. What they've done is they've taken the Ethernet interface, designed their own custom jack for it, and then they sell an adapter with an irregular Ethernet on the end of it. So you can't claim that this laptop doesn't have Ethernet. It actually does have an Ethernet interface.
That is some Apple levels of dongle life.
But
right
to
there.
access it, you have to buy their proprietary, and that's why they're able. So they actually put the Ethernet symbol on this port.
Let's take some questions.
Can you go over the storage and memory?
Yeah, so it goes up to 1 terabyte SSD. I believe that we have, let's check here and see. We have, I don't believe we have the full storage complement. I'll have to check the review on that and get back to you on that.
It goes up to a terabyte.
But it goes up to a terabyte, so that should pretty much cover anything you want other than really intensive video or photo editing.
16 gigs of RAM.
And 16 gigs of RAM, which again, you're not going to find, certainly not a thin and light laptop with more than 16 gigabytes.
Now I also see mention of an active stylus, but I don't see that anywhere around this laptop.
So that's really cool. Yeah, so the active stylus, Lenovo has come up with some various ways of attaching styluses to their devices. Typically involves this clumsy plastic tab that you have to plug into one of the USB ports. With this though, I mean, you're spending $2,700, so you get a Note 8 style
pop-out
stylus that you might be familiar from your Note 8 smartphone. And this is an active stylus with a built-in rechargeable battery that recharges while it's in the slot. So you can recharge it for 15 seconds and get hours of usage with it. It's not very comfortable because, I mean, look at it. You know, it's small, but it is active and it goes into the slot. So that's something.
Okay, let's move over to some benchmarks like we like to do with laptops. We've got our benchmark charts up here. There we go. So looking at the benchmarks, looks like on these performance tasks, on these work tasks, it's doing really well, even though the battery life is not quite up to, as you were saying, what we were saying previously.
Yeah. The most impressive part of this chart actually is the fact that on the very left column numbers with PC Mark, that is dependent on the screen. Results can suffer on that, the higher screen quality you have. But as you see, it is right up there with everything else. Score of around 3,300. This number here is what I'm talking about. This PC Mark score. Typically, with a really high quality display, that will suffer a bit because it's pushing extra pixels.
We're going from 7th gen i7 to 8th gen i7.
Yeah,
right?
so I mean, so it's consistent with the rest of them, but if it didn't have the screen, I would probably think it would easily ace this one.
And then moving over to graphics, I think we have to note that while graphics performance is good for integrated graphics because they've gone up to the UHD graphics with the 8th gen, it's still integrated graphics.
Yeah, still not great for gaming.
Yeah.
Fine for video watching, pretty much doing anything that doesn't tax the graphics process.
Video watching and production, because video production is still mostly a CPU thing.
Except when it comes time to render.
Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, any more questions out there?
What's our editor's choice in this category?
So the best business ultra portable that you can get, it's not a convertible, is actually the sister of this, which is the X1 Carbon. It's slightly smaller, much thinner, much lighter. I personally like it a lot more.
Doesn't bend all the way back.
Doesn't bend all the way back. It's just a convertible. But the editor's choice the editor's choice convertible is actually an HP Spectre X360 model, which we reviewed almost a year ago now. So it's getting a bit old, but that is still much better value for what you get. You're spending around about $2,000 for that machine, but you're getting more capable components or better performing components because it doesn't have to push all these pixels.
Hey, we had an interesting question on the site today where somebody was asking why there weren't any HP models in the current best laptops list. And I noticed there are in a lot of the sub lists, like best business laptop, best 2-in-1,
Right.
but they don't seem to have bubbled up to that top 10 that we have on the site. Is that just timing? Has HP just not revved its generations recently?
Right, so there's a couple reasons for that. HP, well, there's a couple, we'll only really discuss the main one, which is that HP takes a different approach than many of its competitors do to updating desktops and laptops. They don't really talk about generations. They will update kind of continuously, putting new processors in, evaluating that kind of stuff, and you're not going to see like, this is the new 3rd generation HP Spectre. They just don't do that. So as a result, we haven't reviewed as many new ones recently. And the ones for the previous ones that we have reviewed, many of which are excellent, including the one that gets our editor's choice for best ultra portable. There were some issues on the consumer side. The HP Spectre 13 was a gorgeous laptop, but it had a bad touchpad that kind of tossed it out there. But
Input devices make me froth at the mouth.
yeah. If you're an HP fan or if you like some of their current stuff, come back to PC Mag in a month or two. I'm sure that you'll see some stuff that might interest you.
Okay, let's take another question.
Is there an LTE SIM card slot for internet on this?
There is an LTE SIM card slot. Can you use it in America? No.
Ouch.
No, they don't sell, so the SIM card slot is right here. It's combined with the micro SD card slot. If you're watching this in China or possibly in Europe, you're in luck. You can order one with an LTE modem, but everyone else cannot.
And I wonder why that is.
They decide what models they're going to sell at some high-level meeting, and they just decided that they're not going to sell an LTE version of this.
Okay.
They might. I mean, that could change. As of right now, if you go to Lenovo.com, it's not available. But that,
Okay. So our rating on this one, let's go all the way back up to the top here. So our rating on this is 4 stars, and we're just withholding the editor's choice, it sounds like, just because it's a little too much.
It's really cool, but do you really need an HDR screen? I mean, if you want to watch videos all day long, you do, but if you can afford a $2,700 laptop, you probably don't have time to watch videos all day long, unless that's your job. So
That happens sometimes in all of our categories. We get products that are the most highly featured in their class, but we just decide that they are maybe a little more than the average person needs.
Yep, that's definitely the case for the X1 Yoga.
Okay. Any more questions out there?
Well said.
Okay, so this is the current Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Yoga. The review is, of course, up on PCMag.com. It is a 4-star review. We really like it, but it's maybe a little more than most people need. That doesn't mean we don't enjoy the excess. Thank you all for watching. This has been One Cool Thing. If you are watching live on Facebook, we will be back at 10 a.m. Eastern tomorrow with another cool thing. If you are watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Return to our PC Mag channel anytime you like. On a daily basis, we will have another cool thing for you.